Happy New Year. It's Bruce Ferris here. It is the 15th of January, and we have just finished the second week of 2020, and we're going to take a look today. Kind of a fun thing. We're working on a market analysis for a property in the Washington Park area, so we're just going to go ahead and do a review of the high-end sales that took place in the Northwest Region Multiple Listing Service in the last year. So we're going to start with a $10 million plus. Got one up here on Orcas for $10,097,000. And then the rest of those all fell into the Seattle and Bellevue region, with one of them, I believe, down on Mercer Island. We got a $12 million here on downtown in a condo. We got a $13.75 million in Washington Park, $10,580,000 in Laurelhurst. We have a $37.5 million property on Hunts Point, $37.5 million. $15.425 million, $14.25 million, and then down on Grote Point, across from where I actually grew up, got a $16.050, and then we've got an undisclosed location at $30 million, which is also there on just north of Grote Point, I believe, in Medina. So that is it, I believe, for the, let's go down here. I think we have the Mercer Island property at $10,050,000. Let's go now to the next tier. And we end up with just three properties. One at $9 million over on Yarrow. One for $9 million downtown. And we've got, let's see if we can click through this here. Boom. On Union Street, 99 Union. Let's go to the next tier. Now we're picking up a couple more up on Orcas. $8,575,000, $8,005,000, and then backing down into the area again. Again, our concentrations out on the points, 9 million, 8.65, and we've got 8.35, 8.25, 8.225, and then downtown another 9 million and 9 million. I believe that is it for that grouping. For the 7 million to 8 million range, we pick up our first property down on Lake Sammamish at 7.35. We've got another one on North Mercer Island, Northeast Mercer Island, 7,900. That's the old, what was that, Luther Burbank area. 7.2 million here at the North Tip, and Beaux-Arts got a 7.8. Again, back on Yarrow, we've got a 7.050. Let's back this out, and it looks like that is it. Next up on the tour du jour. Now we've starting to pick up some numbers here. We've got two more up here on South Friday Harbor. Actually, excuse me, that's not Friday Harbor, of course. 6.665 and 6.9. Let's go back down into town here. Looks like we've got a large grouping going on here. Okay, here we go. I had to take a phone call, so we're going to jump back into it. 6.67 over on probably Perkins Lane, I'm going to bet. Yep, boom. 6 million on top of Queen Anne, 6.85 in Laurelhurst, 6.895 in Washington Park. Here's our first one up in the Juanita area, 6.5 on Juanita Drive, waterfront, I'm sure. 6.275, 6.8, 6.15. And here we are in the center of the South Maidenbower Point area, 6.595. I grew up right here on the point. Back when it was quite modest there, I must say. West Mercer Island is 6.9. See if we've got anything else we can pick up. That's about it. Let's jump to the next group. Again, a 5.8 up on the west side of San Juan. All right. 5.25 up in Shoreline. Let's call that the Highlands. 2 on Queen Anne, 3 on Queen Anne, looks like. 5.675, 5.2, and 6 million. Looks like we've got some waterfront down here, 5.395. And we've got a smattering over here now on Lake Sammamish, 5.75, 5 million. South Mercer Island at 5.5, 5.75, 5.8, 5.235, we'll call it 5.5 for fun, 5.35. Here we are back in that area, 5.3, We recently sold a property right here, 5.7. Heading over to Medina, 5.6. Here we are on Evergreen Point, 5.3 and 5.5 and 5.4. Getting up onto Clyde Hill at 5 million, 5.165, 5.1, 5.3. Call it 5.4 for fun. I think that's it. Let's jump into the next grouping. Pretty soon it's going to get so busy we'll just call it as a group. Here's up in East Sound at 4.1 million. Let's head back down. Here we are in Bainbridge at 4.25. Here's Queen Anne at 4.4. Let's go over to the east side. Sammamish at 4.2, 4 million, 4.8, 4.530. Lake Sammamish, we got 4 million, and 5 million. First time we've seen them up here down in the Newport range. 4 million, 4.2. Let's go up just off of, or just above the lid there on Mercer Way. 4.25, 4.225, and 4.8. Beaux-Arts, 4.21, 4.373. And then we got a grouping of them here. I'm just going to scroll over the tops of them and take a look at that. Here's Yarrow Point actually in that range. And there we go. Heading up into Kirkland. 4.10. 4.8 and 4 million. All right, next up. Whoa, there we go. And check it out. Now we got something over in Manson and Chelan for the first time at 3.1 and 3.6. I'm going to not take you deep into these. We've got something down here, 3.295 on the lake, on Lake Taps. Here we've got something down on Fox Island for 3.375. Here's 3.5 over in Rosedale. Des Moines at 3.375. Here's South Mercer Island. And we have just a gaggle of stuff going on there. Here's our Seward Park at 3.15. That's the first time that shows up. Similar down here, 3.31. Here's a group down in the Keys. Beaux-Arts representing. And there's 3.45 up on Old Pickle Point in Maiden-Bower Bay where I used to live. Here are our groupings along here and into Broadmoor now. First time we see those show up. Here's East Capitol Hill, top of Capitol Hill, West Capitol Hill. Downtown still showing up. South Slope, Queen Anne, top of it. And then Waterview properties along the edge of Magnolia. And here's one right on Green Lake Way. A couple up here on the north end of the lake. And then we start getting into Edmonds. 3 million. Woodway, beautiful area. We sold a house back about a year and a half ago down there, up there. 3.3 million. Start getting up onto Whidbey Island at 3.125, 3 million, and up on Lake Goodwin at 3 million. Let's go over and see what we've got here in Snohomish. I'll take a look at this one and blur it out. Okey-doke. I think we covered it. So if there's anything further south. Next up. So let's look up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is 709. We get the highlighter here. Here we go. 709 properties sold between 2 million and 3 million. Got some up here near Point Roberts, I believe that is. Is that right? Then we've got, oh, that's Simiamu. And then we've got Agate Bay here, Bellingham, Lake Whatcom, a smattering of them on the islands, Orcas, San Juan. Nothing on Lopez has shown up yet, interestingly, but Lopez doesn't have a lot of frequency. Lake Goodwin, South of Warm Beach here. Here we are on the south end of Camino. There's our South Whidbey. Nothing in North Whidbey. And we got just one over here on Squim Bay. That's got to be a spectacular property. Look at this. We've got one up in the mountains there, 2.194. Did Whidbey. Come down here, Everett, Mukilteo, coming down Montlake Terrace, Shoreline. And man, do we get heavy when we get into this. They're so heavy the map won't show it. Let's do it that way. So this pretty much follows where the most expensive properties are. A lot of this has to do with view. A lot of it has to do with convenience. And then we get into the east side, and it's just heavy with it. Got some notifications coming in on my calendar over on the right-hand side there. Let's back out and see what we get over in this area. North Bend, 2.75. Up in the mountains, 2.724. 2.365. Down in Normandy Park. Down here on Three Tree Point. Here we go. Vashon Island shows up. Gig Harbor coming in. That whole area around there. Again, down on the lake. Let's see if we got anything further south than that. Got two out here in Cle Elum, near Roslyn. And I think that's it. I got one more up in the northeast, I thought I saw. There we go. Back up to Chelan, 2.325 and 2.295. All right, so when I go to the criteria of 1 million to 2 million, just in this area alone, in the last year, we had 4,136. If I drop this down, I should be able to bust it. There you go. Getting out outside. Once it goes over 5,000, the computer says no go. There we go. Broke the computer. Let's take another look at this in a different fashion. So if I do just South Seattle, or south of the cut, that's 345. If I do just north of it, 1,286. If I want to look just at Mercer Island, $136. Let's see if I can get this to. There we go. 207. Let's go for Lake Sammamish area. 295. So let's do one thing here. It's just going to say that's over 5,000, so I won't be able to get you an accurate count here. 4,964. How about that? Just right under 5,000. That's the count there. And if I go below that, it'll really be too heavy for it. So that's our look at properties that are 1 million and more in the region in the last year. And we'll call it quits. Hope that was fun for you. I've got to blur out a couple of sensitive things on that, but I'll have this ready for you shortly. And look forward to seeing you in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.